How CMP works is something similar to how you would map your entire code base, and you were to do it very clearly. If I were to type here very simply a command which CMP does, the CMP map. Now it will just scan your whole project and create a map of the skeleton code base. So I will to copy this skeleton, I will can post in cursor, in cloud code, in anywhere, and that will explain the whole code base instead of me having to drag a few files to cloud or cloud going scanning the whole code base, which is really token extensive. Now you can literally just go here in CMP map, and the map is here. You can literally paste this cloud will understand you every single bit what it contains your project skeleton. And there's one more thing, which is context.html, which will allow you to basically have the context of your whole entire code base, which contains your code base. Now, this two both serves different purposes. Now, let me explain those purposes really bit. Sometimes you just, want to open your code base every single day and you want to explain your whole thing to cloud or again. How would you do that? You might create a cloud.md like that, and you would just to manually go ahead and update it. But sometimes it's a grunt process. How would you do in CMP? If you were to auto update your cloud.md, would be CMP watch, right? And if anything changes in your files, for example, you create a new file or anything changes within the file, it will just get updated in context.xml. This is the whole code base of your whole entire code base. So this contains the important code that your code base has. We ignore the files that are just noise, for example, package log JSON, which just contains the downloads versions, which are just noise that we're gonna fill up your token anyway. So we don't include that. Plus, you can control the file that you want to actually exclude, avoiding, and you want to just avoid them. Do not copy in your clipboard. Then you can basically do that. Here, you will have the scanner that you can edit, scanner.rs. You can edit these files. So, for example, in order to put the file that you want to exclude, you don't want to actually consume that as a token in context.xml, then you can basically put that because that's just noise that's not going to expand any value to cloud. That's just some noise that will not serve any value to cloud, just like package log JSON. Now, it's watching for changes. Anything changes in Cloudbase, it will directly update the context map. Context map is really important. If we were to copy paste in something similar to QL, for example, if we were to paste in any file directory, if I were to paste in actually any literally ID, it'll literally understand my whole code base because it just contains every skeleton that it has produced, right? It has contained children's of it too, and relation of files too. So it is my go-to map that I want to paste every single day if I were to explain the whole code base again. Instead of Cloud actually going it and actually understand the whole code base, which just takes a lot of tokens, sometimes even 10,000 tokens. But this is just 1.5K tokens. I can paste and get it done in 3K tokens, like instead of wasting 7K more. This is a time saver, this is a token saver, and you can actually customize which file you want to exclude every time you go in cloud and explain your project or explain to other models too. Because if you were to use other models, how would you actually describe your project if your project is really big and you don't want the model to scan that whole project? You want the model to scan the cloud.md, for example. But that is just grunt work unless you are updating the future versions. For example, if something changes in your coded file and the model doesn't know it because you haven't updated in cloud.md, that's a really harder for you because it is not seeing what is updated. It sees what's updated. For example, it accidentally searches a file name RIAS or RS, and it's super, super big. It has 82,000 tokens, and that is your boom. It just empties your wallet. So instead of doing that, you can just feed the model the context map. It would just give the map. So instead of burning your OWASP tokens, just letting the model search it for you, you can just give the map that is accurate, reliable, and it just updates every single time. This is what CMP does. And you can actually, in the long term, if you want to do it every single time, if you have a big project and you're just getting super, super big, what you can do is you can exclude the files that are just noise. For example, we have put in some noisy files just like that don't really contribute to the development. They're just packages, names, and stuff like that. So if you have that files, you can actually put in scanner.rs, you'll get the whole readme.md, by the way, which you could read. and you can just put it anywhere here, and then it will just to you have to rebuild it again, and that is it. That's what you need to do in order to actually make it as your, and that will actually update every single time you ever go to your project and build something else. So you don't have to manually do it every single time. The cloud will understand project despite you having to actually feed it every single time 7,000 to 10,000 tokens. It doesn't matter how much big your project scales, CMP will always be able to handle your map. Now, I hope you understand the point here. So after you purchase CMP, what will happen is you'll get access to our Discord, which is friendly. I'm always available in Discord answering a few questions if you have, guys. You can leave feedback to CMP. Everybody is leaving feedback. You can report bug for CMP too. You will get new versions of CMP here for absolutely free. You don't have to give me anything. It's just a free process. You purchase it one time and you get free updates for lifetime. And we have voice calls too. You can even join our voice calls if you want. That is a friendly network, to be honest. All right, guys, that is it. You will be added to support channel once you get this tool, and I will be happy to see you there.